Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Natalia Moczulska and this is the news. The S7 route connecting Gdańsk with Poland's southern border is crucial to create new economic prospects, Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said during the opening of a section of the route between Leszno Wola and Tarczyn, south of Warsaw. Later this year, the length of the highway network will exceed 5,000 kilometers. Thanks to the newly opened 17-kilometer section of the S7 route, a direct connection between Warsaw and Małopolska region has been established. This is about making Poles' dreams come true. This is about Polish people not standing in traffic jams. This is about making sure that they can get home from work or visit their friends as quickly as possible. This is about the dreams of Polish people. The S7 route, according to government plans, is to finally connect the Baltic Sea with the Tatra Mountains. Investment projects are underway all over Poland. These expressways, these roads of great importance, these roads that bring Polish cities closer, but also give a sense of safety to drivers. The government points to Poland's infrastructural development, which has clearly accelerated over the past 8 years. Poland was supposed to be a transit country. Poland was to serve primarily German companies so that they could export their goods to the east and bring raw materials and goods from the east to Berlin, Germany. The section between Leszno Wola and Tarczyn cost more than 500 million zloty. The other two sections between Warsaw and Grójec were already opened in previous years. The cost of the entire route is nearly 1.5 billion zloty. We have been able to build such a legal environment that is beneficial to carrying out road investments, and as a result, we do not spend additional funds to resume such investments, to litigate, to also compensate subcontractors for what they lost based on the implementation of unreliable contracts. And this is what happened, unfortunately, in 2011 and 2012. During the time of the PO-PSL coalition government, subcontractors who built the A2 highway went bankrupt. Today, the government assures that such situations will not occur. On the other hand, a modern airport opened in Radom yesterday. The airport is 100 kilometers from Warsaw. Bus transportation is provided between the capital and the new airport. I remember vividly when the construction of the airport first started out, as it was ridiculed by many. Few believed that this investment would be completed at all. Most thought that if it was going to be completed, it would be after many years in a very modest shape, not in such a magnificent dimension as what everyone can see here today. It will be a complementary airport to the Chopin Airport, which today we are already really bursting at the seams. Unfortunately, I say this with some regret, but on the other hand, we have a solution for this. We will definitely have a very full airport terminal this summer season. Today, Poland is a huge construction site. Work is underway on Via Carpatia, the road connecting Lithuania with the Visegrad Group countries of Romania, Bulgaria, and Greece. In addition to highways and expressways, Poland is building hundreds of smaller national routes. The planning process for 100 bypasses has begun. In parallel, work is underway on the Central Transportation Port. The airport is scheduled to open in 2027. Poland will withdraw from its unilateral decision, taken without the consent of the European Union, to ban the import of Ukrainian agricultural products. Instead, there will be a ban agreed with the European Union on the import of wheat, corn, rapeseed, sunflower seeds, and sunflower oil to Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, and Bulgaria. Only transit through these countries will be possible. Talks between representatives of 5 member countries and the European Commission on the grain crisis lasted more than a week. The negotiations were led by Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Hungary, and Poland. Today, there was a breakthrough. A great achievement for Poland, which was the leading country in bringing about these solutions. This is a great success also for the other countries, all 5 countries affected by this difficult situation in the grain market. The European Union bans are to replace those imposed by 4 member states. Only Romania waited for the European Commission's decisions and did not ban imports of Ukrainian grain. The European Commission, with its negligence, led Poland to build an agreement of 5 countries that did not succumb to blackmail until the end for a week and did not succeed in breaking up this group. The European Commission has banned imports of 5 products from Ukraine: wheat, corn, rapeseed, sunflower, and sunflower oil. We have been of the opinion from the beginning that it is necessary to support Ukraine, to help, but not at the expense of Polish farmers and Polish agriculture. More dairy plants are lowering the price of milk at purchase due to the fact that there are imports from Ukraine of these products. Hungary unsuccessfully demanded that the list be expanded to include eggs, poultry, or dairy products.
Polska w pierwszym kwartale 2023 roku.
Poland in the first quarter of 2023 exported to Ukraine the value of dairy products for more than $50 million. And at the same time, Poland received dairy products from Ukraine amounting to even less than $5 million. So this shows how great the scale of the difference is in favor of Poland, of course.
Widać, jak wielka skala tej różnicy jest na korzyść oczywiście Polski.
After next week's holiday, the European Parliament is expected to take up the topic of eliminating tariffs on goods from Ukraine. A vote on the issue is expected to take place on the 8th of May.
Natomiast te przedłużenie tych
On the other hand, these extensions of these customs regulations will be in effect from June, because the current regulations, which went through a very intensive negotiation process just 2 weeks ago, are in effect until June.
2 tygodnie temu bardzo intensywny proces.
In addition, farmers from 5 countries are to receive 100 million euros in financial support. Poland is to receive the largest amount, as much as 40 million euros.
Ważne jest też to, że to porozumienie pozwoli na
It is also important that this agreement will allow the release of this reserve, which amounts to 100 million euros. Both the Polish side and Commissioner Wojciechowski will probably strive to ensure that the amount due to Poland is received as soon as possible, because this money is simply urgently needed.
szybciej, bo te pieniądze są po prostu pilnie.
The grain crisis has hit thousands of Polish farmers. However, there are beneficiaries of the uncontrolled influx of Ukrainian agricultural products. In the coming days, the government wants to make public a list of companies and entities that earned the most. These importers were able to buy this grain. However, another issue needs to be separated from this, namely the situation in which someone bought so-called technical grain, that is grain that was intended for combustion or biofuel, and later, for example, sold it further without providing information about the fact that it was bought as technical grain, and this is an illegal action. During today's conference, the European Union Commissioner for Agriculture indicated that as the situation develops, in response to various scenarios, further trade restrictions on particular products will be possible. Early this morning, air raid alarm sirens sounded in many Ukrainian cities. The Russians attacked Dnipro, Kremenchuk, Poltava, Mykolaiv, and Uman. At least 23 people were killed. In Uman alone, the attack left at least 10 people dead. Ukrainian anti-aircraft defenses shot down 21 of 23 missiles and 2 drones. Russia fired missiles at cities in Ukraine earlier today, killing at least 23 civilians in its first large-scale airstrikes in nearly 2 months. In the central Ukrainian town of Uman, firefighters battled a blaze at a residential apartment building, struck on an upper floor by a Russian missile. Officials said at least 21 civilians were killed there, including several children. Rescue workers clambered through a huge pile of smoldering rubble, carrying a body away on a stretcher. A man wearing a face mask sobbed as he watched, and a woman came to comfort him. One part of the apartment block is completely destroyed. Preliminary information is that 109 people lived in that section. 27 out of 46 flats are completely destroyed. My daughter's classmate lived on the 9th floor of the destroyed apartment block. I don't know. Praise God they're alive. It is a great tragedy. No one is left, said Serhiy Lubivsky, 58, who survived inside a flat on the 7th floor. He was rescued by firefighters from the balcony, where he escaped with his wife after the explosion blocked their front door. My apartment is on the 7th floor, on the other side of that apartment building, destroyed. We felt the impact. We heard the explosion. I went to the door. I unlocked it, but I couldn't open it because it was blocked. In the bathroom, all the doors were smashed and all the dishes in the kitchen, because the kitchen and corridor were hit. What can I say? I have no place to live. My neighbors are gone. No one is left. An elderly woman, her daughter, and 2 grandchildren lived on the 9th floor. They are gone. There is no one alive in the whole apartment building. Only the kitchens were left standing from the 1st till the 5th floor. People died. A 2-year-old child and her 32-year-old mother died. 4 people were injured. 2 of them were admitted to the hospital.
з яких госпіталізовані.
The wave of Russian missile attacks overnight was the first since early March. Russia had launched such attacks almost weekly for most of the winter, but they tapered off as spring arrived, with Western countries saying Moscow was running out of missiles. Throughout the day, new air alerts sounded across much of eastern and southern Ukraine and some central regions, with officials appealing to residents not to ignore the warnings. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please stay tuned for Poland Daily Weather, Poland Daily Business, and some of our other programs. But for me, have a wonderful weekend.